Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Welcome again. This is Love, or you can just call me Victory. And today we are going to be looking at one of the, if I'm not mistaken, most important concepts in mathematics. One of the most feared subjects, which is actually the basis of mathematics knowledge. And what we're looking at today is algebra. Like I said before, my name is Victory, but you can call me Love. And my page name is Learn with Love. You can find us on Facebook and on YouTube. I am a baker, a mathematician, and a child of God. And today we are going to be learning mathematics, something very basic, something very simple, that is a foundation to every other mathematical issue. But the understanding of this particular topic, algebra, will help you to understand a lot of other topics. Now, when we talk about algebra, this is like the first time you learn algebra is in primary school. Yes, they introduce you to open sentence and all that. But where you get introduced to the topic as algebra is in JS1. That's to tell you it's a foundation. And that's when they lay that foundation and you keep learning it even till the university level. Now, today, let's understand what is algebra. Now, algebra is just the use of letters and symbols. Letters and symbols to represent unknown numbers. The use of letters and symbols to represent unknown numbers. Yes, I know most of us are familiar with this simple explanation of algebra. The use of letters and symbols to represent unknown numbers. Now, most times in mathematics, we are always finding S, and that's something very trivial. We're always looking for something in mathematics. So, what we basically do is, even in real life problems, most times we are asked to find an unknown number, and what we basically do is we give that unknown number a representation. More like, I don't know the value of this, so I use something to represent it. Unlike having an, it's just like you don't know the name of a person. So, in order to identify that person, we can decide to call that person S. Or when I say triangle, I and my friends already know who I am referring to. It's more like a code language. So, because I have an unknown number, I need to use something to represent it. That's where we start seeing letters like A, S, Y, Z, B, any letter at all. We can use any letter at all, any symbol to represent an unknown number. Now, for you to understand or solve problems involving algebra, because from algebra we go to algebraic expressions and all that, but that will be a topic for another day. For you to understand algebra very well, you have to understand that we have what we call coefficients. We have coefficients and we also have like terms. If I'm able to explain these two today, I think I'll be satisfied. Coefficients and like terms. What is a coefficient? Now, a coefficient is a number attached to an unknown. Some say multiplying, a number multiplying an unknown, a number attached to an unknown, a number beside an unknown, whatever. you will use just that number that is beside that unknown is what we call coefficients. Example, if we look at few examples of coefficients, let's take a look at 2s. Now 2s, the unknown number here is s. We are using s to represent an unknown number. S can be 1, it can be 2, it can be any number. It's a variable. A variable is something that changes. So it can change. It can be anything depending on where it is falling at. Now, the coefficient of s here is 2. Simply, it is that number attached to that s. So when they're asking you for the coefficient of an unknown, they're just asking you what number is attached to that unknown s. So here, the coefficient of s is 2. Same thing if I have, let me say I have g, and they are asking for the coefficient of g. Now, if you notice, there is no number in front of g. There is no number in front of g. But in mathematics, when you see any number, any letter standing on its own, it's the same thing as 1g. If you see s is the same thing as 1s. Just that we don't say 1s. When you're solving any problem and you have 1s and you say 1s, everyone around that is a good mathematician already knows that you are still coming up. You're a junior mathematician. Okay, so we don't say 1s, but whenever you see g or s, just know that the coefficient is 1. Then if we have 4y, the coefficient of y here is going to be that 4, the number attached to the unknown. Remember, when a known is standing without a number, the coefficient is that is just 1. Example, another example is if I have minus h, the unknown here is h. So the coefficient, because of that negative, remember if it was without the negatives, the coefficient would have just been 1. Remember, because it's just standing without any number. But with the negative, the coefficient is minus 1. I hope we got that. The coefficient will now be so I would like to also say this, that the number in front of, okay, sorry, the sign in front of any number is the sign of that number. The sign in front of any number is the sign of that number. So minus h, the minus belongs to the h because it's in front of it. Now that's for coefficient, a number attached to an unknown. So if you're able to identify the coefficients of any number, it will also help you in the understanding of algebra. Now the next thing we want to look at is like terms. When do we say two or more terms are like terms? When do we say two or more terms are like terms? Now, two terms are said to be like terms if they have the same algebra. If they have the same unknown. So if we have two or more terms and they're having the same unknown, we say that those two or more terms are like terms. Let me give you an example. If I have 2s, 3s, minus s, 5s, 10s. If you notice, all of them are having the unknown s. Now, once they have the same unknown, we call them like terms. They are all like terms. They are all like brothers. The only thing that is different in all of them is the coefficients. Now, let's try to identify the coefficients of each of these. The first one here, the coefficient is 2. Here is 3. Here is minus 1. Here is 5. Here is 10. I can even have s over 2. The coefficient here is 1 over 2. I don't know if you can see that. If I have 5s over 3, it's still like terms with this. The coefficient is 5 over 3. Can you identify that? If you can't, I'll try this one for me. What is the coefficient of s here? If you have an issue with this, then we'll be talking about coefficients in a separate topic. But the coefficient here is minus 7 or 5. Was that what you got? If that was not what you got, then I would like you to drop a comment, teach coefficients, and we'll be handling coefficients in a separate topic, as a separate topic. Okay, then if you notice, all of them, all the numbers I've written out, all have the same unknown, s. Now, because their unknown is just s, it means that they are like terms. They are like terms. They are like terms just because they have the same unknown. Then another thing we'll look at is if I have 2s squared, 3s, 5sy, 6s. How many of these terms do you think are like terms? Are they all like terms? Or is there any one that is odd? Now, to explain this, these two are the only like terms here. Why are they like terms? S, S. They have the same unknown. S squared is not the same thing as S. S squared, S are not the same. They are not like terms. Now, what I like using to explain this real life example. Okay, now our S is like beans, and S squared is like akara. I can even have S raised to power 3. S raised to power 3 is like saying moi moi. Now, if you notice, all this, both akara, moi moi, they are gotten products of beans. Akara, moi moi are products of beans. Are they beans? Mm-mm. They are not beans. They are not. They are not beans. They have graduated from being beans. So you can say s squared and s are like terms, or s cubed and s are like terms. Even s cubed and s squared are not like terms. Akara moi moi is not the same thing. Even when you see it, you know it's not the same. So these are not like terms. I hope you followed to this point, and I wish I could get your reply. Let me know what you feel about this lesson. Is there any challenge? Was I too fast? Or was it not is it something you've already overcome that you would like to learn something else? Share with your children. If you have children in any secondary school level at all, they need this topic. They need an understanding of algebra to be able to scale every other subject. Even someone in university needs to know the knowledge of algebra. So let me know what you think. Is there any other topic you would like me to treat? Should I treat coefficients? Thank you so much, and God bless you. See you next time.